Hello and good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode on the captivating topic, Art is a Mirror of Society. I'm Amrita, your host for this special episode. And even though it's titled Open Debate, tonight's special episode will be a very thought-provoking discussion. Art, in its many forms, be it painting, music, dance, cinema, theater, even architecture, and even many other crafts, has long been regarded as a reflection of our collective experience, values, and the evolving nature of our world. It serves as a powerful lens through which we can examine the culture, the beliefs, and the ever-changing dynamics of the society that we inhabit. Each culture has its unique ideas and customs that they value. Artists are a product of the culture and society in which they grow, and as such, they are influenced by the customs and norms of their society. Often, their artwork reflects upon and upholds the objects, ideas, and customs that society values. Join us as we dive deep into the fascinating world of art and its role in shedding light on our shared human journey. We will exchange ideas on this intricate relationship between art and society, not only comprehensible but also thought-provoking. We will explore how artists, through their creations, have the ability to capture the essence of our times and provoke meaningful discussions about who we are as a people. So sit back and get ready for a stimulating exploration of how art mirrors society in ways that are both profound and easily understood. To discuss on this matter, our panelists are here. Let us welcome our panelists. First, we have Ms. Soma Laishram, renowned actress and singer. Welcome to the debate, Ms. Soma Laishram. Next, we have Ms. Preeti Yumnam, singer and lyricist. Welcome to Open Debate.
Thank you.
Our third panelist is Mr. Bijou Thangjam, renowned actor and director. Welcome to Open Debate. And our fourth panelist for tonight is Mr. Romi Meitei joining us. He's the director and lyricist. Mr. Romi, welcome to Open Debate. Okay, let's start away with the debate, the program right away. I'll first come to Ms. Soma Laishram. You are one of the most renowned actresses of Manipur. In your career of 13 years, what are the challenges that you have faced? And also, did this current ongoing 5-month-old conflict in Manipur affect in your acting career?
Well, that's a very long journey, and yeah, everyone and every person will have ups and downs in life. So, talking about my challenges of my past 13 years of experience in my film career, it will be episodes of series and books of stories that I wouldn't be able to tell it this right now.
Right.
But yeah, I do have, I do got lots of appreciations from people, and sadly, we are living in a society which is very judgmental and also, lack of appreciative type of society. So, talking about that, we artists sometimes feel like we are very limited in expressing our creativity, our creations through art, and we feel like we are not on ourselves fully in the way we are meant to be. So this is the point that I would like to bring up on today's topic. And talking on the positive side, I think I grew more stronger, and I'm happy to what I am now.
Yes.
And looking back to my, career for these 13 years, I smiled and looked back, and it's a happy thing. And also talking about this conflict happening in Manipur for the past 4-5 months, we have been affected mentally and physically, and we artists, we have been shut down for our work too. For the 5 months during this crisis. So it affects our brand engagements and our business and of course our mental health and many social activities. but we're trying to overcome this, because I know everyone is a victim here, and we will do it, and we will overcome it soon. Yeah.
Yes, it's a very beautiful point, despite many challenges, and even when living in a judgmental society, that Ms. Soma Laishram has faced ups and downs, and also have had a very vibrant career so far. So, and good luck to you moving on. And as Ms. Soma has put forward the many challenges in her field, I think it's safe to say art should not have any sort of boundaries, be it political or geographical. So coming to you, Ms. Preeti, do you notice that art being constrained by political or geographical boundaries in our state?
I believe that I won't be wrong when I say that our state, or people in general, they have so many views and unrealistic ideals in the concept of art. Everyone has an opinion, and if these opinions, when it comes to art, if entertained, then art just loses its essence. Art is a medium of expression by the artist, and if it is kept under binds, set a boundary around it, then it will be very hard to see the beauty of art. We listen and enjoy music from other cultures, we watch movies and pictures from other countries which inspires and influence us, that we want to know more, know better about them.
Right.
Well, when it comes to Manipur, it is very sad to say that we are still living in our glorified past. We are still focusing on what we had instead of pondering on what we have and how or what we can do to make it bigger and better.
Right.
There is Kwatha, a very beautiful village in Manipur with unique art forms and traditions. Their way of singing is very unique, but it is only limited to their place. And Sanskrit, which is considered as the mother of all languages, is now deemed to be dead and archaic. When the British colonialists introduced English, it replaces all Sanskrit as the language of intellectuals, as the language of wisdom. If Sanskrit was shared and taught, the values it carried, its literatures, the Vedas and Puranas, if it was shared among the people from other classes or other sections of the society, then I believe the same goes for Kwatha too. If its songs or its art forms are shared with the people from other villages too, then I believe that these beautiful art forms or this beautiful language would still be standing firmly like it used to be.
Right.
I would like to say that our Manipuri culture is very rich, but sadly, lots of restrictions are imposed, lots of boundaries are put around us. Instead of putting restrictions on what kind of dress we should not wear, what kind of language we should not use, what kind of instruments not to play, why don't we focus on how can we incorporate our culture,
right,
our art, our traditions in the art that we are pursuing, so that we can show the people that there is such a beautiful place called Manipur with these and these cultures, this and these dress code, this kind of heritage. I think that will be much better when we are trying to wall ourselves in order to preserve our cultures. We are in fact walling ourselves out.
Indeed, a very beautiful point that Ms. Preeti pointed out, our rich and beautiful ancient culture that we already have, and even though we have it, since we have not exported it out or shared it with the world, that it is almost dying. Now, well, on that note, I'd like to come to Mr. Bijou, that we already have a very rich history, as Ms. Preeti has pointed out. And again, recently, our name, the name of Manipur, has been acclaimed as a sports powerhouse. But the fact is that we have also excelled in cinema despite many challenges. So, Mr. Bijou, how can we establish Manipur as an Indian cinematic powerhouse that by focusing on quality and rather than quantity?
Yeah, I actually really like the idea of juxtaposition of sports and arts and the cinema. When the term cinema comes, what we see is that in a very general way, art has no language. And itself is a language actually. It's a medium of a language, but has no particular language. So we as citizens of Manipur, what we need to really focus on the thing is that there should be a bit of a discipline in everything. Sports, we become the powerhouse of sports is because there is a hell amount of disciplines that really need to be, we have to really focus on the disciplinary of the sportsmen. Likewise, we have to think about this one in the art as well as in the cinema. Because me being myself, not from the industry here in the Manipur film industry, but what I can see from a very far point of view is that there is a lack of a discipline. First thing is that there should be a bit of thinking about the time, thinking about like the pre-production, post-productions, about the scripts. This all come in a term under a one umbrella called discipline. So if we follow this one, it could take a month, it could take a year, it could take 10 years, but yeah, obviously someday we could call ourselves as the powerhouse of cinema. And it is a very possibility, and we should be very optimistic about this thing. And again, it is a very collective kind of a work, so it should not be more of an individual focused.
Right.
As an artist, as an industry, everyone has to come forward.
Yes.
So that we can work together to put forward. We are not going to compete as like how the sportsmen are,
Right.
but at least we can push ourselves to a little further, to tell a story from our own homeland, to make a thing beautiful, so someday people can look at us and say that that's the powerhouse of cinema, that's the powerhouse of arts.
Really, indeed, a very beautiful point that you have touched upon, and especially that point that you have put forward that about discipline and work ethic, that both goes hand in hand in producing a very quality work of art. On that note, I'd like to move over to Mr. Romi. Regarding as Mr. and our former previous panelists have all pointed out regarding the challenges regarding our rich ancient culture and that's prevailing already in Manipur, and also the potential that Manipur has to become a powerhouse of cinema and art. In this pursuit of art and cinema, so Mr. Romi, I'd like to ask you, how do artists and filmmakers confront the difficulties of harmonizing their creations and their work of arts with that of surface realities?
Yeah, thank you, ELITETV, for having me in such a wonderful and a very valued, what do you say, over this discussion, and lucky to be with the three dynamic youths of Manipur. There's Preeti, Soma, and Bijou. They have started, very well on the perspective of the art, and it's the dissection of the art, say how cinema becomes the the pros and cons, that what is happening, that being an artist in Manipur is it's well narrated before. Coming to the the fragment, the section of the art that were wanted to start for me, to move forward this discussion, for me, we need to clearly understand that what really art is and what really art stands for, right? Sure. So, am I audible?
Yes.
Because I'm looking for.
Yes, you're audible. We can.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I'm really afraid that it's audible or not. Yeah. Just to move forward the discussion, I just wanted to start with that. What in my mind is that what art is really about. It's otherwise, when we comes deep down through its part and the dissected portion, that we will be waywarded, and then we will be in a confused state of mind that where we are standing at the moment in this thing. So art is very it's a divine in nature for me. I accepted this. Art is a creative activity, art is something that created with the imagination.
Right.
So see, like, then where this imagination comes from? Imagination can be, I mean, cannot be, I mean, what to say, tested and experimented through labs. It is not like a mathematical formula that you can add two and two, like it comes out four. It's not something like that. It's not that. It's a really, really different kind of things, no?
Right.
The whole sanctified nature, it's all there in art. So before coming to, I mean, like cinema is also a part of, like, it's a man's imaginations. It's a medium.
Yes.
It's a medium that it's an art that it's a composite art that which, I mean, always, I mean, rely to the, yeah, to the technology. So we do write scripts and we do, I mean, screenplays, we do acts, but after all, like, it is all captured through the, what to say, a device, scientific device called camera, and like, it has been showing off to the, I mean, audience, and then start to, I mean, connect with the audience that does it, I mean, the story really moves forward, or I mean, how that stories, I mean, the potential and the content of the story, that these are other things. So only things that what I wanted to, I mean, portray first is that art itself is a very, very a divine essence. So being an artist, we are all under in the spell of something like it's an unknowable essence.
Right.
So I would like to, I mean, like use this term, that unknowable essence. Say a pain. A pain is under, like, we create pain, no? Like,
Okay.
so pain itself cannot explain about its creator. Pain cannot explain, and like, what to say, pain cannot explain about its creator. Like that, no? We are within the creation of this divinely, this thing, what you call art. So it is really, really hard, and it's really, really need a whole lot of, like, practice and cultivate our mind and spiritual energy to define what art is. So how much a particular society is deeply been rooted into their, I mean, own culture and traditions, like it's always reflects through the arts there, I mean, through the art that the reality, the grip of reality they hold there. So when you, I mean, see films of Akira Kurosawa, or that legend filmmaker of Japan, that we will easily understand that how deeply rooted this society of Japan is.
Right.
Likewise, we I mean, narrate some film about the Bergman and Quentin Tarantino, like this. No, they, like, what to say, at the crystal clear. They, what to say, like this very much topic is all about the art is mirror of society. No,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
Yes. So the divinity is there, because all this. Oh, my alarm is ringing for the eye drop. Sorry. So for me, like being an artist, being a storyteller also, so whosoever connected with the art, they can be termed as an artist or whatever. First, we have to be all, like, sanctified ourselves to be within the limitless, the energy of art. Then if it is like, once you, I mean, get through with this definitions, with this energy, if you touch, if you, I mean, receive the holy sprinkles of that, then you will be in a place that's beyond what you call artist. So this is, I mean, how I wanted to start that, what an artist. Then what is your question about? Like,
My
what you say,
question was-
cinema?
Yes, you have put a very beautiful notion. Even I was almost immersed in your words, Mr. Romi. My question
thank you.
was, we have this beautiful sanctified version of art that we know, and there are people who are creating art. So I would like to ask you, is art a different entity than real life, and how do we harmonize these two when we bring them together? And the
It's a
surface
beautiful-
reality of the people involved in creating art.
Right, right. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Like, say, art is divinely, right?
Yes.
And when we, trying to segregate that art and reality, then we are in the wrong way. It's my perspective.
Yes.
So it is the same entity. It's a single entity. Art doesn't go far from the reality, and reality is not a different thing that which is not contain any form of art. So it's a single entity. It's one entity. Here, I just wanted to this put a statement that given by Henry Moore that he's a very, very finest artist in the world. So what does he stated that is to be an artist is to believe in life. So
Very
to be an artist is to believe in life. How beautiful is this?
Yes.
So life is reality. If art is segregated from the life, then there is no life then. When there is no life in the art, there is no artist. So these two things are, reciprocal and interdependent to each other. So it cannot be separated. Like say, I'll give you one example that I started thinking of like, I just want to fly like a bird in the limitless sky.
Right.
Then what comes next? Then aeroplane is invented. So aeroplane is reality. But you cannot say that the one who, imagine to have a killing desire to fly like a bird in the sky, that is not the reality. We cannot say like that, no?
Yes.
So how aeroplane was invented? It is from the art. Like people started like thinking, imagining. So like this, like say one more example is coming. Say for the first time, like man successfully landed on the moon is 1969.
Yes.
But it was already written there in the what do you say, that Jules Verne's novel that 1865. It was published in 1865. See, that is, gap of a century. Man had already landed to the moon on their imagination. There is there in the Jules Verne's art to the moon. It's already written. And there is a film called A Trip to the Moon. That was, there was, it's a French director, so one of my all-time favorite, filmmaker. That film was released on 1902. But in reality, man successfully landed on moon after 60 years. After the movie, like after the movie was released, then after 6 years on 1969, men landed on the moon. So bridging the gap, the question itself doesn't arise in a sense, like it's a one entity. We shouldn't like never ever think of like segregating art and reality. Otherwise, there will be no art. And at the other side, there will be no artists. So this is what I felt. So art and reality. My name is Romi, and my mother called me at home Ibungo.
Okay.
So, but I have two names, but this is Romi only, right? So art and reality is one entity. So thank you.
That is
Hope I
indeed
answer
very-
your
Yes, you answered
question.
my question, and it was indeed a very beautiful insight that you put, Mr. Romi, and I think you just put up the level of our discussion into another level. And on that note, regarding the aspect of creating art and even the reality that that have been created, all began in the minds of an artist, all began in the imaginations of a madman, so to say. On that note, I'd like to come to Ms. Soma, that you're an accomplished actress and you have portrayed so many roles on screen. And also you have portrayed the kind of characters that a director, a writer have conjured in their minds to export, to consume for the public, that this kind of character and this kind of character is so this kind of life, a kind of story, a kind of a fiction, and they're giving it to the public. Since you have portrayed so many characters, so according to you, my question is that to Ms. Soma, how can your work, both on screen and off screen, impact the change in a society?
As a social influencer and also an actor, I believe in leading with experience. So my character and my role on the movies, it's all the image that I am trying to show to society, that what society is. Yes. So for the foremost, like I will stand to my ground, and I'll firmly stand to it, to my character. Yes. And what we are trying to portray in the movie is, it's the mirror, and it's not something that I want to do it. Right. It's the character that the director or the script writer has appointed me. Yes. And this is what the society is. And I will clearly do my job, and I am ready to do it. But this cannot judge the the specific character of the actor. That is not me. That is not me coming out on the screen. Right. I'm totally a different person. Right. So, like, talking about on screen, we should try to work on project that can help bring a social change in the society. And there are many matters that we can bring on the screen to give powerful impact, to bring a change to the society. And yeah, off screen, I try my best to engage myself in every event, in the possible social events, and use my platform to reach out more people, to connect. So yeah, I think I have Bijou also to supplement this questions, and he is very ready to answer this.
Yeah.
Sure, Mr. Bijou, please supplement on
Yeah, I can second that. Actually, as an actor, the first thing is that what we portray on screen is not who we really are. Right. Because that is a different kind of a person or a personality that had been created by a director and the writer. So, what we know Soma as a person is not exactly that what you see on screen, So there are a lot of it's very perplex actually in terms of the through the perspective of the audience. It's very perplex that the particular character could actually be the Soma, her real personality. That's not true. Right? So it needs a lot of homework, and it needs a lot of to work on the characterization, to work on what kind of the person she is going to portray on screen. As she said, the society inspired. The character is written fixedness, but actually that is inspired from a real person. Right. Because the writer, the director must have seen that or must have heard that. So they paint it down and they try to make that. And they thought Soma could make that come alive on screen. That is what she's been doing. So the impact of the society is actually, as she again mentioned, is a mirror to the society. The art, the cinema, what kind of a character she portrays is actually the mirror to the society. And a lot of the time, a particular character, whatever the artist or the actor they portray on the screen, become a bit of controversial. Yes. Yeah, yes. I want to bring this particular topic, the controversial character that we portray on screen. Mm-hmm. This is not a fault. These controversial characters has a different kind of a visual that the director and the writer compound, and we are just being the puppet, and we're just being a kind of a medium that we try to portray on screen and try to tell a story about it. And it is not a fault, or neither it is a fault of the director or the writer that what the character comes out. So, being an artist, I will add a bit of a word in the Manipuri, that kalefu kandrefu. Okay. So, yes, exactly. Yeah, so exactly. This is actually the other side of the mirror, you can say that, the reflection. It itself is a reflection of the society about this Kalefu and the Kanrefu.
Right.
But we should actually embrace about it. Whatever the actors, whatever the artists that come out on the screen and portray, we should not be very hasty to judge about that person, that whether he or she would be same in the real life. So this is the only complexity that the entire society has been facing, and it is not just about Manipur, it is a globally. Because what we can see is that the social media has become, the internet is very convenient. We live in a world of a convenient, you know, so the quality, the human quality that God had gifted, the patience, now it's all gone. If you go back in the history and if you try to even take an example, and instead that you go to the particular Kangla fort, you can see brick by brick, it has been made over times, over decades. The history are built in that way, the architectures, you know. But now a machine can build that with the proper architectures and the engineers, it can be built in the days. So that actually shortened the quality that God had gifted to us, the beautiful patience. So the patience has gone, hence the sense of humor has been totally gone to the drain. So sometimes as an artist, whatever that we portray on screen, like the Soma had pointed, a lot of the time we've been misunderstood, and there are times that it need to be taken as a sense of humor, but it got offended to a particular person, a particular community, and hence again, in Manipuri, I'm going to quote this, Sengtokshaba. So that has become a very trendy thing, and it has become the middle name of being an actor and artist in our society right now.
Okay, since you have mentioned Sengtokshaba, a very subculture that is emerging in our culture currently, I would like to know from you, and also Ms. Soma, would you please supplement regarding this, about the cancel culture that is very prevalent currently. It's almost as if it's the second nature of humans currently who are consumers of art and cinema. So how have the cancel culture impacted the creative freedom of artists? And what do you think is the mentality behind this ongoing cancel culture being so prevalent?
So this is the issue that I want to give the utmost importance. I'm sure everyone will talk about this to Miss Preeti, then even Romi. Like, I've been facing this issue every now and then, ever since the start of my career, and everyone has witnessed this too. Then, so it's the same thing that I've been talking about. Giving restriction to art is not fair, and artists of Manipur have been, restricted in every horizons. They are not able to explore anything. So as a result, our career as an artist are very restricted, and it's like we are playing in we are confined in a very small box. So everything's limited words, limited expressions. Then I don't know. It's so feel like we've been so done sometimes. And yeah, I understand as an artist, the public presence and the impact that we give to the society, we understand that. But still, we are human, and we also have a personal choice and personal preference, personal aspirations and dreams and goals for our life. And we should have the freedom to pursue our goals in life, just like every other person. So like simply, every time when I upload pictures on my social media wearing Western dresses, I get insulted, criticized, trolled anyhow. So I think this is not right. Right.
Exactly. I think it's the fact that the consumers have been immersed in your work so much that sometimes the public forget that the actress, the renowned, the beautiful actress Soma has a life. That sometimes she has her own aspirations aside from the work that she is doing, and sometimes she wants to just enjoy and have fun. And at that point, we should segregate that. This is not the Soma that we see on screen, and this is her life, and we should rest it there. And this is a message that Ms. Soma is trying to say, if I'm correct.
Can I jump in here?
Sure, Mr. Bijou, can you? If you would like to
supplement.
supplement.
There's a very interesting point that Soma just made, like where we confine in a box. So when it comes to the art and the creativity, actually art itself is a synonymous to creativity. You know, when it comes to the creativity, we always have to say that think out of the box.
Right.
So when this particular terms, the phrase has been the a motivation and a catapult to go ahead and to encourage ourselves to go ahead towards where that we really wanted to be. So if we are confined in a particular box, that we become very stagnant, and so does the society. As an artist, we will not be able to pull up any kind of a very quality product and cannot contribute a lot of things toward the society in a very positive way, because it will become a monotonous thing. Right. And again, one particular point that she really had mentioned, that's the Preeti mentioned, she put the language about the Sanskrit that has been lost.
Yes.
And again, the Soma had put on about this particular thing, setting up boundaries and the restrictions. So, you know, to be in this particular society, I know there are always a pro and a cons, and we have to follow. If you are living in a society, there are rules and regulations that we really need to follow.
Right.
But there is a thin line in between setting a boundaries and restricting a particular way. So if restriction means it's more of dominance, it's more of forced, but setting a boundary is more of understanding and discussion, like what we have right now. We are discussing about like how art is a mirror to the society, or how art is a mirror of the society. So if collectively we sit down together like this and we discuss about what are the pro and what are the cons and what are the things that we really need to do and what are the things that we should not do, so that it should not reflect the bad side of the society. And again, talking about the bad side of the society,
right.
As an artist, we really need to live in a place where the gray areas are. Because gray areas is a beautiful place that we can touch the darker side, we can touch the white side. And we really should not try to push and whitewash the creative side in the artist and the arts, because if we do so, like what Preeti had mentioned about the Sanskrit, everything, the art forms, the languages will gradually decline and it will vanish and it will extinct from the humanity.
Right, that is I think that is extremely significant since we're discussing art as a mirror of society, since art mirrors society and everything. On the declining art form, especially coming from the start of the mentality of the cancel culture and putting restrictions on art. So I'm coming to Ms. Preeti now. I'd like to ask you, since you have mentioned about the dying art form of Wata, the singing forms, can you elaborate on the reasons of the decline of ancient Meitei art forms, and could you also please provide some of the steps of their potential revival?
Gladly. I have talked about Wata and their unique art forms. You know, it's not about just keeping boundaries, like Bijou said. It's not about just keeping boundaries. There are plenty reasons for deteriorating art forms. EPOM, which is an audio comedy this platform where people, the EPOM artists, they touch every spheres of the society. And they are very good at it. Right. And in those times, the sense of humor of people, like Bijou just quoted, the sense of humor of people, it was very high. EPOM increases that also. But you see, we laugh at a joke, right? But when we feel that the joke is, when you feel that the joke is you, that's the emergence of cancel culture, like Soma just said.
Yes, like being easily offended.
We should never, again, we should also never forget that art forms, art and culture should evolve along with time.
Right.
And there is like Gaur Lila, Pas Khela, Basok. Now it has become a part of history, and people have forgotten its beauty because it could not evolve along with time. There was a time also when folk music hit very low. This audience was very low, with very minimal followers, to be honest. But then some prominent folk artists, I very much appreciate them for that, and I am very proud to say that we have a lot of talented singers or artists. Those prominent folk artists, they come together, they collaborated with artists from other genres, and they created a whole new musical experience, which is very pleasant to hear. And thus people started to know, oh, we have this kind of thing.
Right.
We can enjoy this kind of music too. Thus a whole new genre is again created, and people have also recognized the beauty of folk music more. And now this is a living example. We can see that many people have emerged, have a profound interest in folk music nowadays, right?
Right.
It's not only about music, it's not only about cinemas. We can also see the designs on textiles, on fabrics. These kind of textiles, they are only limited to a class of people, or to an occasion, or to some sections of the society. But these, designs, when tweaked and used or utilized by the fashion designers in some trendy outfits or costumes,
yes,
people from all around the world are awestruck, like, okay, this kind of designs exist, this kind of beautiful things exist, where in a place called Manipur. Thus we act as a promotion for ourselves, and our original beauty is also not declining, it's preserved.
Okay.
Whereas the tweaked designs act as a promotion for our original designs. If we accept the changes that come along with time, if we accept the fact that art and culture should evolve along with time, then we will not fear of dying art. Rather, we would be, occupied with how many awestruck eyes we have gained through our beauty in art.
Yes, incredibly beautiful point that Ms. Preeti has just put forward, that in order for an art form to flourish, it is very important to stay relevant, be it in crafts or be it in music and even dying art forms. And also, as Mr. Bijou has previously mentioned about that, there is a thin line between setting a boundary and also a complete restriction in the creation of art. On that note, Mr. Romi, I would like to come to you, that we have been discussing in this line that artistic freedom is essential, but it can also clash with societal values and norms. How do we strike a balance between creative expression and respecting community standards?
Yeah,
Mr.
it's a
Romi.
beautiful thing that, and it's the term itself is very found to be very new to me, that the creative balance kind of these things. No, so whole creative kind of this thing, it's all rely on the spirituality and the, like I speak too much about this spirituality in a sense, like everything, like I just stated, narrated like in the beginning. So say when we, before, going to the questions that you have put, I think that there is a saying that law is meant to be broken. But when it comes to the art, like, so any creative energy or the creative, potential, if it is put like a Soma or Bijou, I forgot that which one they have, put up that walking in a small box kind of this, confined
Bijou
in,
has said that.
Yeah, yeah, beautifully married. But what we have to see out of the box again from that concept also, we need to, I mean, see from the another direction also. So there is a term called universal permanentation. So while we are planning to, what to say, plant some sow some seeds, no? So we first dig out the hard, what do you say, the surface, and we did it upside down. We did all on up like 2-3 times. Then again, the soil becomes more fertile to grow any plant that you are, I mean, going to, what to say, you are expecting. So on that potent, no, at some level, we can also accept like it's a criticism, may be like it's a valid criticism, or it is something like out of nowhere it comes, points come from, and that, what you call this, the formula of cancel culture. Like, this is also a very new term to me, cancel culture.
Okay.
It's a very good term. Like, it's how the artists here in Manipur like facing all kind of these things. So at times we can also, I mean, sit back quiet and doing sort of some meditation, and we can also see the things, are they the elements within the cancel culture, or
Yes.
is it a valid criticism kind of things. At times
Okay.
we need to see on that also. We have encountered so many that, what do you say, the odd events and odd incidents. Like, all the artists here in Manipur, like, they are living in a, what do you say, a warlike situation always. We are on the front line. Front line in a sense, look, I'm not blaming any organization or no one. I don't want to blame anyone. But whenever anything like comes up, maybe of the social issues or whatever, that's Ban blockade or general strike,
Okay.
the first line suffer is like that, the folk of the artists, like we also suffer. It doesn't mean that the rest of the people don't suffer, but mostly, what, like, see, right from the 3rd of like May, this ongoing this thing, no, a national this thing, no, trade crisis, like it's going on.
Yes.
So many artists, like, including artists, I should say, like that. So many people, like even sometimes, like, it's really shock to witness one of my production designer who have, what to say, joined some, what to say, the job which is not related, which is not like experiment, who he doesn't have any experience of working like that. No, they work as a handyman for the water tanker kind of this thing. So such kind of like incidents really shocked me to witness this. No, so my hand is too short to help them also. I mean, I did a quick research on this thing. No? It's like, I say, I would like to put this figure. It's subject to correction, right?
Sure.
So in 2007 to 10, there are 114 cinema theaters are there in Manipur. But see, the nose deep declination of number comes down to, there are only 3 cinema houses here in Manipur, in
Right.
proper Impal.
Right.
See, and at the outskirt areas, what you call the rural areas,
Right.
it is like 6-7 cinema houses are there only now.
Okay.
See the numbers we see, no, more than 100 cinema houses are all gone. So does it raise a concern in our mind that this declination of cinema theaters, decreasing that nose deep type of decreasing numbers, it is from the cancel culture, or it is within the evolution of time,
Right.
or it is the competency of the story, of the narrative, that with what we made, what we, I mean, connect to the audience. So these questions raise a concern in our mind that to whom we are going to blame for.
In fact, incredibly significant points Mr. Romi has said regarding the cancel culture, and also that how it is contributing to the decline of our art, such as in filmmaking or even in art, as one sad narrative, one sad thing that Mr. Romi has said regarding one of his crew designers having to take up odd jobs in order to sustain his life. On that note, I would like to, before I come to Ms. Preeti and Ms. Soma, I'd like to first come to Mr. Bijou. Could you please supplement on what Mr. Romi has said regarding the struggles that has been faced by the makers or the creators of art or in films, and also could you please give your points regarding narrowing the divide between our film industry and also in trying to stay relevant and to even join the competition of the global and international film trends?
First thing first, okay. I really respect a personality like Daromi, because he has been slogging since the day that I would say that he's a pioneer who brought digital filmmaking in Manipur and really fought a kind of a battles that the digital filmmaking can bring a change in the society, and in fact it did. And he is one of those filmmakers who we really looked up to, you know. So and it is very saddening and heartening to see all the declining of the cinema theaters that we had seen while growing up. I still remember that, you know, every Friday there used to be a new film that comes out, and I'll go to the Asa cinema and we'll stay in the queue and we'll fight for the tickets, and sometimes we go to the Kala Bazaar, you know. All those kind of, you know, the fever that we used to call as a film fever or the movie fever, that has totally gone. And now, what we really focus is one particular day that's going to be as a premiere show. The filmmaker is totally focused on that particular day.
Okay.
And I think there are many factors that has been up on the debates regarding about the declining of the cinema and the cinema theaters. But there are a few things that I want to point out. Number one is the narrative of the contents. As Preeti had says that everything need to evolve and as per to the time change. Like, for instance, if you take it in Malayalam films totally reflects the reality of the society of Kerala, and it tells a lot of a human story. And it is not in a very melodramatic way, but in a very realistic, the way that I and Soma is having conversation right now, I and you having conversation right now. So the content actually itself, you know, it reflects a beautiful things about Kerala, and we know a lot about Kerala watching a lot of Malayalam films. And down in the south, in a very commercial way, the Tamil and the Telugu films is doing a really good thing. But in terms of the inclusivity, in terms of the human story, Malayalam is doing really great. And a lot of peoples are remaking a lot of Malayalam films toward many different kind of languages. They are adapting their Malayalam films into Hindi, Punjabi, even Tamil and Telugu, and so on and so on. A lot of, you know, this is a thing. And we had been a lot of, for the past couple of years in Manipur, the content is stagnant and has become a monotonous. If I must have to say in the Manipuri, I would say Mamoga Manem Punaba Machin Manao Ani Katnaraga Sambal Kava Sumangda. So that has become a topic of the film. And again, the cast. You know, in every film that has become a very similar kind of a cast that we can see. Like if a film has a Soma, Bala, Kaiku, Gokul, and the same next film also has a similar cast and similar storyline. So a lot of the time the audience are very perplexed about, oh, I've seen this film. I think I've seen this film. So because of that, the interest of the film towards the story has become a little bit of a declining slowly and gradually, and hence I think this is one of a very one of a factor that really need to discuss, and we really need to debate about this thing with the industry also, with all the actors and directors and so on many things. Because if we have to make Manipur as a powerhouse of cinema, first thing first, we need to have us. We need to look deep into our own culture, on our own history, and we have to go toward the roots. And we have a story like Savit, Chaitaret Kundakpa.
Okay.
You know, we have such kind of a beautiful story. Even we know the Second World War as Japan land. And even as the Japan land also, there are many Japanese stories that we have, like how a Japanese got settled, married to a local woman in Ukrul. You know, we have so diversity. We have so many beautiful story that need to be told. You don't really need to make a historical film. You can be very creative, and you can bring that out and make as a contemporary. And I must say that now even the Hindi cinema film industry and even the South cinema, they are focusing on mentally on the Northeast.
Okay.
Because we have abandonedly, like we been abandoned by a lot of the people and our own people also, but the calling has been seen by the outside. You know, they know that we are very resourceful. We have so many beautiful stories need to be told to the world. If an outsider can see, why can't we see that? This is my question. Why can't we, as a society, a member of a society of this beautiful place called Manipur, why are we still be a blindfolded to see the beautiful content and the beautiful state that we live in? The story that we really need to tell to the society and to the world.
Okay, indeed, that our stories need to be told by us, from the people
Exactly.
that have been brought up in this soil, that have lived in this soil. On that note, before I come to Ms. Preeti, please get ready. I would like to first ask something from Mr. Romi. Since you have been to the Cannes Film Festival, you have seen the World Cinema International, the trends. What do you think? For personally, I don't think there is lack of talent in Manipur, in the Manipur filmmakers. But as Mr. Bijou has just pointed out, that we have a lot of talent, but there is declining content in the movie making, in the trends in the Manipuri cinema currently. What would you add on that?
Yeah, cinema itself is. I already, stated that this is a composite art. At times, it's also like called a director's medium. So when we, coming to this content that what we are making, so we cannot easily, drop out one topic that what is going on the other side of the global cinema. Like we have seen that whole lot of distribution systems are changing from the last half of the decade. Before there were no OTT platforms, like
Right.
yeah. So as you mentioned, like Cannes,
Yes.
so there are commonly called that big five festivals, that Cannes, Berlin, Sundance, Toronto, Venice. So why they are preserving the culture of like exhibiting cinema into the movie theater only. Cinema is being made, film is being shot to completely assigned to exhibit at the theater. Cinema carries not only the entertainment, not only the educational and the propaganda or whatever you say, or the documentations, but it is something that it is coated with the the larger than life of feelings you can see.
Yes.
But that feelings you will never find in your bloody, what do you say, that box TV.
Okay.
So why they can, this Berlin Sundance, they are just try to preserving the culture of going to the cinema house, respecting the cinegoers, and all this. Like now the technology has jumped up to the, what do you say, 10.1 in sound system, that what we call the Dolby Atmos.
Right.
But all these things you can get in your own, what do you say, that uh, uh, home theater type of this thing, no? But home theater equipment cannot be afford. It's not affordable
Right.
for everyone. But see the changing scenario, that what it's, I mean, like it's rapidly changing, no? Every film is coming to the OTT. I don't want to mention any like good OTT over here in this discussion, but we all witness, no? Everyone is enjoying movies, but the real taste of the movie, the real feelings, if there is no emotions there, then there will be, what to say, the true essence of cinema will never be, what to say, perceived in your mind and your heart. So coming to the content again, so content is the prime requisite thing of the narrative structures. But this thing, I believe, for me, I believe in the original stories. That Manipur itself, we see a lot of potentials.
Right.
In the terms of, like you see, Manipuri dance, Manipuri, then sports person,
Right.
as we discussed before also, no?
Yes.
Like Manipur becomes a powerhouse of sports
Yes.
of this nation, right? So on that thing, Manipur also recently celebrated like 50 years of Manipuri cinema.
Yes.
It means that 50 years means like it's a, what to say, it's a glorious kind of like celebration we should have like
Indeed. Indeed.
enjoy. But at times, for me, I ask myself, like repeatedly, I ask myself that Manipur cinema is celebrating 50 years. It's glorious 50 years celebration. But what is your contributions? That is also like, I just wanted to ask this question to my fellow filmmakers and all the artists who are working in the Manipuri cinema. 50 is just a number, or what?
Okay, on that note, I'd like to move on to Miss Preeti, that it is indeed a very saddening news that even after 50 years of Manipuri cinema, the number of movie theaters is declining in 2023, and that there are many technological and even financial hurdles to afford a certain time of camera, sound system to catch up with the times. On that note, Miss Preeti, there are many dedicated artists in Manipur, and their performance and creativity are driven deeply by pure passion. And they face a lot of financial struggles. So, Ms. Preeti, can you give any kind of suggestions to help our precious artists to overcome this situation?
I'm very proud to say that Manipur has many talented artists.
Right.
But whatever the artists bring to the table, they are not fairly compensated for it. As they say,
Okay.
like we have to think about not only about the art that we see, we enjoy, that we use to escape from reality, but also for the people who are in front of and behind the cameras too. Artists earn in a very minimal scale, in my opinion, in Manipur.
Yes.
And as the Bijou said, and
Okay.
Romi also mentioned, the plot, the story has become stagnant, and like there is less technology, more talents why is there, like, why has a plot become stagnant when there are many talented people?
Exactly.
I would like to say that it's because of the financial struggles. Like, I have come across many potential writers or script writers or who is involved in filmmaking. The only problem they have is financial. They have passion, they have the talents, they have what it takes to produce that, but they lack the financial inflow. That is why they cannot produce up to that level. But if either the government help us, or if producers come out and help us in growing cinema or music or anything, then I believe that many more people, present artists, future artists, both will come out and work in a very comfortable space, not worrying about anything and just focusing on the art. And I believe that we will reach somewhere we have never imagined before. Even for singing, say in Manipur there is a culture of Matam Isai Sakpa. I respect every artist. I respect all the Matam Isai singers also. But you know, they are tiring themselves down by performing every night, by being there for their fans, for the people every night, while earning very minimal scale, like 2-3K per gig, something like that. Right. But this royalty, there is this royalty system. If all the artists, they come to know about this royalty system, they apply this and they bring this out, then they won't need to tire themselves down, right? So say there are plenty of distributors, music distributors, some online distributors are also there. There is DistroKid, there is TuneCore, there is CD Baby. These kind of distributors, what they do is that they take the music from the artist, they distribute it to multiple stores, online stores like Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. They distribute it, they collect the revenue, and they again deliver the revenue to the artists themselves in their own account. So it's a very hassle-free this process in a very easy way. I think that this will also increase to the flow of money for the artists in Manipur. Not only just performing, live performance is not the only way to earn. And this revenue system is also a very big development, I would say, for the artists. And if they could handle it properly, then there will be more artists getting more revenue. And if there is more revenue, then they don't have to worry about some, you know, like, they don't have to tire themselves down, right?
Right.
I would like to ask Bijou. Yes, I would like him to add one more. He is more, he has more knowledge about cinema.
I'll now give the mic to Mr. Bijou on this to supplement on Miss Preeti.
What she said about the distributors regarding about the music, and Romi just pointed out the 50 years of Manipuri cinema.
Yes.
And my question is, out of that 50, all the films that have been made in the 15 years, how many films are there on the national and the international OTT? Yeah. There are just a handful of them. Because, see, when we talk about the commerce, filmmaking is not just about an art, but it's also a commerce. We have to think in terms of the commerce way.
Yes.
So a lot of a Manipuri cinema and the Manipuri contents cannot reach on the OTT of national platform, and the international platform are in a very, there are few things that cannot reach there. So like number one, plagiarism. We don't really understand the term plagiarism in our Manipur, because sometimes we try to pick up a particular music that available on online, but happens to be a copyright that had been already been taken by particular cinema or particular kind of a distributor. So hence, all these things are the factors that our cinema cannot reach on the OTT of a national platform and the international platform. If we could provide an authenticity and if we could make an original content from our Manipur, it can reach out to a different kind of OTT platforms, which will bring a lot of revenue in our industry. and revenue means it will help to sustain all the cast and the crew and all those people behind the cameras also. So that will be the first move in upbringing and to preserve and to save our own art and cultures and the cinema theaters in our Manipur. So I think it is a very collective kind of a work that we need to put all the efforts together, and we need to sit down together, and I think such kind of a debate is a very interesting thing, and we need to have more of such kind of debates so that
Right.
a lot of amazing ideas need to come out. We need to sit together, as earlier I said, setting a boundary. You know, when you sit together, when you communicate together, you will
Yes.
know how far you can go and how far and what are the things that you can set a boundary, but not a restriction. And we can actually go toward the path of progress.
Okay, since
And-
Mr. Bijou, as you just mentioned, commerce, that art is not just a work of art, but also commerce. So do you think that our government needs to allocate and put aside funds specifically for the development of films, for the construction of film sets, and for equipments of sound and effects and many others? So, and not just inclined to just for films, but also for other craftsmen and other artisans too. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll just give an instance about that one. Like all the filmmaking that what you see, all the films and the content on the web series, everything, even the television commercials that what you see on national television right now, majority of that earlier it used to be shot in Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow, and now Bhopal has become the hub. That is because the government give a subsidy to the producer. And if you come to a place, if you shoot your films or your web series here, we'll give you so and so subsidy. But the condition is that you have to provide 50% of the job to the locals. So it's a very win-win situation. So the government actually, and the authorities, the governments, the officials really need to get involved if we have to preserve, we have to protect our own art and the artists and the culture. Yes, very much need. The government really need to jump in the gun, and they really need to get involved like what they do with the sports. Thank you.
Okay, indeed, a very interesting point that the government needs to look into this as a development of Manipur and to sustain and to give sustenance to its artists and filmmakers. Since we're almost out of time, but I would like to ask one more last question to Ms. Soma, and Ms. Preeti, you can also please chime in that as women in art platforms, you have very huge following, fan followings who look up to you, especially women. And again, as you mentioned initially, that there is a lot of cancel culture and a lot of restrictions on women regarding their clothing and whatever they say, whatever, anything that comes out of them from the mouth of a woman actor or singer. There are many young actresses, aspiring singers, aspiring actresses. What kind of advice would you give them? In order to encourage them, would you encourage them or would you discourage them? Ms. Preeti, Ms. Soma, the floor is yours.
Yeah, of course, encourage them. And I would like to say to everyone, to aspiring artists, that patience is a virtue, and this in this career, patience is really important, and they should be really patient. Yes. And they should be, true to themselves, know their originality, and develop their skills according to the time. And we should take this job very seriously.
Yes.
Very professional, in a very professional way. And the most important part is that they should have a healthy balance between a real life. So yeah, that is most important. That's the thing I would like to tell them.
To be able to segregate between the real life and yes. So Ms. Preeti, please supplement on this.
Of course, like Soma said, we will obviously encourage them to come up. We are voice of our state, our nation, our society. We present the art forms they are carrying throughout. One thing I would like to tell them is that this everything, let's keep all the cancel cultures and all aside, but I would like to say, be true to yourself, like Caesar said. I would like to say that be true to yourself. Once you are true to yourself, no matter whatever, whoever said whatever, we can always, bring out the best in ourselves and perform. That's the essence of true artists, in my opinion. And we should also never forget to incorporate our cultures or traditions in whatever art that we are doing, but at the same time we should not focus only on the limitations. We should focus on whatever we could see, like Davido said, outside the box. For example, he incorporated like Sangvi in his project Lembilema, which is a very wonderful project.
Yes, indeed.
And I would like to appreciate him very much for that.
Indeed.
And the projects that I am talking about him because he is in front of me.
Okay.
Like he is a living example for that. So if we can bring our cultures together and add it into like the thing that we want most, then I believe that we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you've made a very good point.
And
in
like,
fact, sure. Yes, Miss Soma, please add.
I would like to congratulate once again Romi Meitei for winning this prestigious award nationally, internationally. I've been thinking, congratulating him on Instagram, but I would like to take this moment. And also to Davijo also.
Yeah.
And also,
Lucky me.
also from the side of our news TV studio from ELITETV, congratulations to both Mr. Bijou and Mr. Romi on Lembilema, and also from Preeti Yumnam on being a huge success in international film festivals. On that note, we would like to conclude today's engaging and such a beautiful discussion. We have discussed today, and our panelists have put forward so many beautiful points how art serves as a mirror of society. They highlighted challenges artists face, such as the impact of conflicts on their careers and the use of art for patriotism. The panelists also explored a balance between creative expression and societal norms and discussed strategies to revive ancient art forms and bridge the gap between regional cinema and the international cinema. They emphasized the role of art in addressing issues like inequality, political unrest, and conflict, and the financial struggles faced by artists. The episode was concluded with insights on nurturing young talent and the evolving role of art in reflecting society in the changing world. I would like to thank again our panelists, Ms. Soma Laishram, Mr. Bijou Thangjam, Ms. Preeti Yumnam, and Mr. Romi Meitei for taking out time from your schedules and being here with us with ELITETV and providing your beautiful insights in this discussion. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
I'd also like to thank our viewers tonight for tuning in. Please share your feedback and comments with us. We will be back again next Monday, same time, with more exciting topics. Please keep watching ELITETV. This is Amrita signing off. Have a good week.